For spring break, I was going to bring my family to London, England and show them a few of my favorite places, but due to a huge power outage at London Heathrow, flights were canceled across the world. So instead of going to London, we've decided to pivot and head west. We spent the last 5 hours packing, and tonight we're flying standby from Minneapolis to San Francisco, and hopefully tomorrow morning we'll fly from San Francisco to Honolulu, Hawaii, where we'll spend a week in the sun and going on a few adventures. Is flying standby during spring break a bad idea? There's only one way to find out. Ready? Let's go.
My name's Paul. I fly airplanes for a living, but my passion is encouraging you to explore this beautiful world by giving you a glimpse into my layover life.
The flight to San Francisco was pretty wide open, so getting seats wouldn't be an issue. While we waited, I did a quick search on an activity that I've been wanting to do with the kids, when and if we make it to Hawaii.
There's no age restriction on the shark swimming. What do you think? You want to do that?
I was kind of hoping there wasn't age restrictions, so I automatically wouldn't have to do it, but I kind of want to.
You want to do it?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I don't know.
You don't.
That'd be awesome.
More on that later. Meanwhile, we got our seat assignments and we're off on the first leg of a standby journey that would prove to be more stressful than we planned. I started rewatching Ryan Trahan's Penny series. Amelia had a little homework to do, and after 3 hours and 42 minutes,
we have arrived in San Francisco. We just checked the flight for tomorrow. The first one to Honolulu has 11 open seats and 45 standbys. So somebody's not getting to Honolulu tomorrow. Will it be us? We'll see you in the morning.
the next morning we were back at the airport. But before we went through security,
I checked the loads for the flight this morning. There are currently 13 open seats. We're number 12, 13, 14, 15 on the list. But there's 63 standbys, which is pretty crazy. If you're number 63 on the standby list and you show up for this, drop a message in the comments below, because I admire you for showing up. Do you want to go get the flight attendants chocolates?
Yes.
Yes, okay, let's do it.
with gifts for the crew, we headed to the gate, not sure if we'd be giving them out or eating them ourselves.
It says it's full, but we're the next 4 standbys.
Anders, my eternal optimist, said,
So we might get on.
He was right, because with boarding coming to an end, there was a glimmer of hope.
The seat map shows 3.
And finally, we heard what every standby passenger wants to hear.
Paging passenger Jorge, carrier 4, here for you.
But it was only partial good news. There were indeed 3 open seats, and so we got the inevitable question, would we split up and take 2 different flights? We had already agreed that we wouldn't, but one of the benefits of being a pilot is the ability to jump seat.
Anybody have a time? Can you ask the cockpit if it's okay for jump seat? Family of 4, we have only 3 seats left.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah.
With the captain giving the okay, we received our boarding passes and were on our way to Honolulu. You'd think the jump seat wouldn't be ideal for a 5-hour flight, but
this actually worked out better than I could have planned. Better than the middle seat and coach is the crew rest area. There's another United pilot up here. Behind me are some crew rest bunks for sleeping on long flights, but we have 2 basically first class seats. Honolulu, here we come.
At one point during the flight, I went downstairs to get a snack box and check on my family, but the majority of the flight basically looked like this. And after 4 hours and 48 minutes, we were on the descent to paradise.
We have enjoyed having you on board tonight. Wish you safe travels and hope to see you on another United Airlines flight very soon.
Whoa, it's so pretty! The ocean view! Look at all the boats! Whoa! Oh my god!
As excited as I was to show my family around London, this wasn't a bad alternative. The biggest question now was, will we be able to get home? It's notoriously difficult to travel as a standby passenger from Hawaii back to the mainland, especially during spring break. But we'd worry about that in a few days. Until then, adventure awaits. An easy 40-minute drive to the windward side of the island will put you in the small beachside town of Lanikai, which is home to one of my favorite hikes, the Kai'ewa Ridge, aka the Lanikai Pillbox hike. It's a moderate hike according to all trails, but it has a fascinating history.
So Anders, during World War II, these pillboxes were used for soldiers, and they would hike up here every day with their gear on, like really heavy vests with water and radio communication. Guess what else they would bring with them? Carrier pigeons. And if they saw enemies approaching, they'd put a note with the pigeon, and the pigeon would fly back to the base and tell them that the enemies are coming. But every day they'd hike up here with their packs on, keep an eye out for enemy ships and enemy airplanes. So if you were a soldier, would you want to have this duty?
No.
To hike up here every day?
I'd rather just stay at the base.
Yeah.
And get notes from a pigeon.
I always think hiking to a destination like a pillbox as the end goal is especially fun when you have kids.
No,
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah?
My knuckle.
You okay? Good job, buddy.
What's in there?
I can hear you. Okay, don't fall in there. Is this cool, bud?
Yeah.
Good job. Good hiking.
I don't want to go down now.
After Aaron and Amelia joined us on top of the pillbox, we took in the view of Lanikai Beach, which is where we'd be spending the rest of the day, but not before we picked up lunch at one of my favorite spots, the Sunrise Shack. There are a few different locations around Oahu, and it's a great spot for acai bowls and sandwiches, which is exactly what we needed before an afternoon at the beach. Lanikai Beach was just a warm-up though. Our time in the water would get more and more exciting throughout this trip, and it would all start the next morning.
Time to get up. The ocean is calling.
I don't want to go to the ocean again.
Come on, let's go. Hit the camera and then the next transition will be to the ocean. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Located on the North Shore, Turtle Bay is a protected bay perfect for swimming, and it seems like just yesterday we brought Amelia here for her first birthday. 13 years later, we're back, and she's swimming with sea turtles. If you're a new parent, don't blink, because, like they say, the days are long, but the years are incredibly short.
That was so fun. It was like we just got here like 2 minutes ago.
I know. That's awesome. Now just imagine if that was a shark. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No. I think turtle is enough for me.
We'd see about that. Until then, I'd be soaking in these moments, showing my kids that experiences are better than possessions, because, unlike things, experiences get better every time you talk about them. As a matter of fact, the next morning, my kids were going to experience what Hawaii is all about.
We are in Big Wave Dave Surf and Coffee. We're about to surf. We're going to shred some gnar.
Both Aaron and I took our first surf lessons in Waikiki, and there's something pretty special about doing something for the first time. So, seeing our kids paddle out felt very nostalgic. The only question was, would they actually shred some gnar?
It's in the wave.
Nice.
Nice, Anders. Yeah. No way. He's a natural.
Meanwhile, Amelia was still waiting for that perfect wave. But as it is with most things in life, her first try didn't go quite as planned.
Is that her?
That's her.
No.
Yeah. Oh! That was awesome.
Oh, I think she's too far forward.
Yeah.
And so she paddled out to try again. We want to raise confident kids, and I've heard that confidence demands evidence. So to give our kids the evidence that they can show up and attempt things that are hard, even if they don't get it right away, will help them understand the value of showing up, knowing they can handle the difficult moments in life.
There she goes. There she goes. She's in the wave. Whoa!
Get up, get up,
Get up, get up.
Go, Amelia.
She's almost there.
Oh, she kind of left.
She had it though.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of our kids for showing up and trying hard. When it comes to living a fulfilling life, showing up for it is 90% of the battle. Because with every wave you miss, you get a little bit better and more prepared for the next one. And if you keep showing up, another wave will show up, and another one, and another one, and eventually you'll end up on the ride of a lifetime.
How was it?
It was fun. I wasn't great at it though.
Dude, you like caught a couple waves.
All of them.
All of them.
I don't know how.
Okay, so the big question is, I start surfing professionally?
Yes.
Definitely not. I'm not that good at it. I barely caught a wave. I thought you were gonna ask about sharks.
Well, since she brought it up, there were still a few spots available the next morning to go swimming with sharks. So, little did she know, showing up might involve more confidence than she thought she had. But sometimes you just have to show up afraid. On the north shore of Oahu is the small town of Haleiwa, and there's a company called One Ocean Diving, whose mission it is to not only take you out on an adventure, but teach you that sharks aren't the scary monsters that they've been made out to be. As we left the harbor, we listened to a safety briefing about the best way to interact with the sharks.
So it's really important in the water that we act as a predator versus prey. We want to be that lion. You don't want to be like the zebra grazing the grass, having your back towards the shark. You want to be making eye contact with the shark, being fully aware of your surroundings the whole time.
On the way to the dive site, Anders needed just a little more reassurance as to what was about to happen.
The safety diver will be between you and the sharks all the time. And me, yep. Okay?
With anticipation building, it didn't take long before we had arrived.
Oh,
This is awesome.
this is perfect.
Oh, look, I do. Oh, that one's cute.
Oh, there's one right there. There's one there. There's one there.
Okay, this isn't festive.
This is gonna be awesome. Oh, cool.
And so, with sharks circling the boat, we got ready to enter the water, one by one. First, the safety diver. Then me. Then Anders.
Go hang on to the line.
That's so scary though.
With a little help from the safety diver. And finally, Amelia, whose reaction was something I'll never forget.
Like this. It was actually gonna just, went through up the next
Oh.
later.
Why do you know that? Are you coming back in?
Exactly.
Oh my god. It's beautiful.
She was right. It was beautiful. Every trip has that one moment where you think, yeah, this was worth it. For me, it was watching our children drift through the sea, calm and fearless, surrounded by creatures as ancient as the tides. In that surreal, heart-pounding stillness, I knew we'd given them, and all of us, something unforgettable. On our last morning, we left the kids at the hotel and headed out to Koko Head Crater, one of my favorite hikes near Waikiki.
Before I get too out of breath, I'll explain what this was used for. Very similar to the Lanikai pillboxes. There's a pillbox at the top here of Koko Head, and they used it for looking out at enemy ships approaching after the attack on Pearl Harbor. And now it's an awesome hike.
The Koko Head Stairs consists of 1,048 steps and is renowned for its steep ascent. The trail climbs approximately 1,200 feet over 7/10 of a mile. In the final third of the hike, the grade can reach up to 91%, which corresponds to an angle of approximately 42 degrees. The most mentally challenging part of the trail is the bridge, a 30-foot-long section where the old railway ties are suspended above a gulch. There are no handrails or guardrails, just old wooden ties spaced out over open air. And while it's only 15 feet above the ground below, if you were to fall through, there's not exactly a soft spot to land. After taking one look at the bridge, Aaron decided to take the detour.
It is pretty scary. I was here with some crew members once, and it was like raining, and one of the flight attendants slipped on the bridge coming up and actually fell, turned around and hit her shin on the wood beam and landed on her butt. And she told me later that her whole back and butt and thigh were completely black. So be careful if you're gonna go over the bridge. If you don't want to, you can go around the side. We're at step 600. You're getting closer. Doing great. We just passed step 900, babe. Almost there. I think the army's coming behind us.
An army?
The army. The army.
Yeah. That way we go.
That guy's barefoot.
And so we stepped onto the summit, as the sun hit the horizon like the world had just lit a match. While we took in the sunrise on our last day, we saw what the effort gave us. Not just the effort of the hike, but the effort of the entire trip. This hike wasn't easy, but neither is traveling, especially when you're flying standby during spring break with kids. But what you get out of it? Wonder.
It's beautiful.
Confidence.
You caught a couple waves.
All of them.
Education. And stories that last a lifetime. Those are the things that make it worth the effort.
We are about to find out if flying standby over spring break was a good idea or not. Up until about an hour ago, we thought it was a good idea. The flight to Chicago had 25 open seats. We were number 3 on the list, and now the flight to Chicago has 0 open seats, and we're number 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list. So, the flights from Chicago to Minneapolis look amazing. They have 100 open seats. If we don't get on this flight, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. We're probably gonna try to get to San Francisco, because there's a Sun Country flight, a red-eye, another red-eye tomorrow from San Francisco to Minneapolis. So ideally, that would be a backup plan. But for now, we're gonna play the waiting game and hopefully we get to Chicago.
The sun set on what would hopefully be our last day in Hawaii, but I wasn't totally confident we were going to be getting home. And with school starting back in 3 days came a little pressure to get on the flight.
We are currently trying to come up with a backup plan for getting home. We've kind of established that if 2 or 3 of us get on, one of us will stay and then buy a ticket home tomorrow. We might all buy tickets home tomorrow, which would not be ideal. But when you think about 20 years of free flying, if you break that down into 4 tickets to last minute, then it kind of evens out. So that's how I rationalize buying tickets last minute. But they haven't stopped boarding yet, so there's still hope.
When you're flying standby on a full flight, you kind of pray for long security lines or passengers misconnecting. And at this point, that was our only chance of making it home.
These people coming. Shoot. If all of them didn't make it, we could have all.
There's still people like running up to the gate who got stuck in security, so there's a chance. Boarding doesn't end for another 10 or 15 minutes, so there is a chance we could still get on.
Probably not very high.
Probably not very high.
My friend Julia, who also happened to be flying standby, got a seat, and it was looking like we might need to split up.
For the whole tea party, we'll do 2 if we just can't do 1, but if we'll do 2 if it comes down to it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What time is it?
It is
8:08, so the flight leaves in 12 minutes. They should be closing up soon.
And then came the most promising sign of the night. The gate agent asked us to line up in seniority order on the jet bridge. There were still 2 standby passengers ahead of us, and none of us had seats yet. But when you see an open door, you gotta go through it. And then we got the news we'd been waiting for.
Okay, so we only have 6 seats, so I think there's a party of 2 and a party of 4. Head down to the door and just wait, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Let's go.
Awesome. This one. Literally the last 4 seats. Flying standby. It's so easy. Okay. Once we're going to Chicago, we got plenty of seats to get home from there. So I'm ending this video right here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. If you like this, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next layover. Aloha. Here's the plan. Today, we're gonna fly from Minneapolis to San Francisco, standby, and then tomorrow, hopefully, we'll fly from Here's the plan. Today, we'll fly standby from Minneapolis to San Francisco. What about you, Mommy? You wanna go swimming with sharks?
No way.
Don't why?
Babe,
Yeah.
did you see my crab attack?
Well, the sharks aren't gonna attack you.
That almost took me out.
Mom couldn't handle the crab.
Your viewers don't know about the crab attack.
No. That was last spring break.
That was dramatic.
I think the highlight of my trip is gonna be like swimming with sharks or maybe swimming with animals.
I think that the highlight of my trip is going to be swimming with animals also. And we'll see if I want to swim with sharks. We'll have to wait and see. I thought this was a good driver. I like the other one better.
That wasn't how to call.
Harvey Milk.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is right there?
That is a mountain. Is
yeah,
it?
It's a very famous mountain.
Is it the highest one of the day below the sea? Awesome, buddy.
No.
Oh,
it's
it's
called Diamond Head.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. How many pull-ups can you do?
No, he's not hanging off the back.
Hey, babe, just relax. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Aloha.
Awesome. Looks good, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Yeah, appreciate you. This morning we're doing one of my favorite hikes here, and I brought my favorite hiking companion with me. This is the Koko Head Trail. It's basically just straight up the side of a mountain. You ready?
Okay.
Before I get too out of breath, I'm talking to the camera.
You brought a train out here?
I don't know, something. Not a train. You got some tough feet. It's a very dumb thing to say to that guy. You got tough feet.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch another video just like this one, I'll put a link to our Australia video on the screen. Okay, I love you. Aloha.